Hey guys, Reef Thews here, and today I'm going to do a video update of my 24-gallon Nano Cube and talk about some of the products I use. Down here in the lower left hand corner, this is one rock, and I've got three different types of mushrooms on it. I've got blue mushrooms, some green striped mushrooms, and some red mushrooms on the back. These are nuclear green zoanthids that started off as a 5 or 6 polyp colony. Got some red zoanthids that have not been spreading that quick because they're getting suffocated by these mushrooms here. That's a little fox coral. I'm probably going to move these orange zoanthids to this side. Got a green maize brain and a green moon brain there, and I think it'd look a lot nicer to have the orange between the brains and the green zoanthids. I think the green on green definitely would not look as good as the green on orange. So I'm going to change that probably before the next video. Since my last video, this is new. To push the light back, get a little better light on here. This is my Acanthastri lordowensis garden. I've got 4 different types of lordowensis there. The two in the middle have actually fused together, and on the upper left hand corner here, that's a Tyree war coral, and I'm really looking forward to that spreading down the left side there. That's a nice piece. Right here I've got 2 different types of trumpet corals or candy cane corals. Both of those started off as 3 polyp frags. And right behind here, push the light back a little bit further, this is looks like a skeleton right there in the middle, and actually it's a withered or dying piece. And this brings me to a good point. Oftentimes I can get a dying or withered piece from a pet store at a greatly reduced price, bring it back home and put it in my healthy system, and a lot of times it'll come back and you can get a really nice piece of coral for not a lot of money. Behind that trumpet coral skeleton there is a leather polyp or cabbage leather coral with neon green polyps. Here I've got 2 different types of green star polyps. That's a frog spawn single-headed frag, and within 6 months that'll be probably 6 heads or so. Right there, this rock I've got big plans for. It's almost naked right now, but I've got a hitchhiker multicolored scalemia right there, which the snail is shading. Behind the snail shell, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can just kind of barely see right there. There's like a 5 polyp colony of orange center green zoanthids, and I'm looking for those to spread up that rock. Down here is a orange scalemia. Let me pull the light forward here. This is a hammer coral with pink tips, branching hammer. It started off as 1 head, and geez, I don't know, there's probably at least 10 heads on it now, and that's done really well. And then down here I've got 2 colonies of branching lobophilias, otherwise known as branching open brains, and I really feel like a tank looks more natural when you group light corals together. That's a red variety there that was one of the withered pieces I bought and brought back to life. This is a 4-headed multicolor open brain that I'm going to crazy glue to that spot right there. And a lot of times I'll do like colors together. For example, I've got the orange zoanthids there that lead down to the orange Rickordia yumas, which are 4 polyps I glued onto that rock there, and then trickles down to this orange fungia. So, you know, when you look at the whole, those 3 orange accents kind of in a line look really nice and look natural together. Keeping with that theme, I've got a Blastomusa merletti area here. That's a red encrusting. This is a 3 polyp frag of a red with green centers, which doesn't look like you can really see the green center on the camera, but that's red with green center. In the back here, I'm going to try to come around and see if I can get a better shot of this. This is a pink with green center. I don't know if it's coming up on the camera or not. Blastomusa merletti. And down here is my leather coral garden, and I've got an ORA neon green leather on the right, and just a regular green toadstool on the left. Both of those started off as frags. Down here I've got some purple tonga mushrooms with my favorite fish, Muppet. That's a blue spotted jawfish, and he is phenomenal. He's got a lot of personality. I really like him a lot. Here's some zoanthids. Those Recordia were on a branch in my last video, and when I did my last water change, I took a knife and popped off each individual polyp, left a little piece of the rock underneath, and then glued them to that rock, and there's 4 in a row, and I think that looks real natural. It's my Australian Elegance coral, which is irritated by this purple gorgonian right here. This is the nicest fungia I've ever seen. This is an orange fungia, and it's got like bright yellow tentacles. It's very rare. I've never seen one in person before where the tentacles are not the same color as the base, so that's a real nice piece. And you can see here in the middle, I've got 2 gorgonians, a red and a purple, a glove polyp coral, and that's actually a hybrid hammer / frog spawn. That's a single euphilia that's got polyps that exhibit both hammer coral and frog spawn characteristics. It's a real neat piece. But it's been about 6 weeks since my last water change, and what I do is I collect corals in the sand. When I do my water change, I suck out a lot more water than I need to. I suck the water out down to the level of where I want to place the corals, and then I crazy glue each coral into place. So all these areas were carefully planned, and you have about 15 minutes when you drain the water down to glue the corals into place. Any crazy glue gel will work, or an actual coral glue, which is crazy glue gel. Up here in the middle of the tank, I've got some dragonized zoanthids, some yellow polyps. Those are some pink centered zoanthids right there. And this is another withered piece. This was a mage brain that had about ½ an inch left of life on it, which is quadrupled in size, and you can see the old skeleton behind it there, and I think it'll probably overtake that old skeleton within a matter of a couple months. So that's my tank. Let me turn on the light and I'll talk about some of the products I use here. Well, let's talk about feeding the fish. First of all, about twice a week I use frozen mysid shrimp by Ocean Nutrition. A lot of people use brine shrimp, and that is not a great idea. Brine shrimp has little nutritional value to it, and it's not very high in protein. Mysid shrimp's much higher in nutritional value, much higher in protein. It's the same price as brine shrimp, so there's really no reason not to feed mysid shrimp instead of brine shrimp. For dry food, which I feed every day, I use the New Life Spectrum flakes in their Thera A pellet series. To me, this is the best food line on the market, bar none. For the gorgonians and clams, the DT's phytoplankton is incredible. It's for filter feeding corals and clams. Does great. For the water chemistry and the corals, I use the SeaChem Aquavitro line. The pH 8.4 raises the pH to 8.4 and also raises your carbonate hardness. So even if your pH is at 8.4 and your KH is low, you can add this and it will not raise your pH above 8.4. It'll just raise your KH. So it's a phenomenal product. I've been using it for over a year now. It works really, really well. Their calcification product's really different too. This has got 2 types of calcium in it. It's got the inorganic and organic forms of calcium in it. There's a false argument out there that calcium gluconate, which sounds like a sugar, but it's closely related to sugar, but it's not a true sugar, adds nitrates to the tank because it's inorganic. Well, nobody talks about, when you add DTs to the tank, you're throwing nitrates directly in the tank. Nobody complains about throwing DTs in the tank. It's a negligible amount. It doesn't raise your nitrates noticeably. The calcification has far less of an effect of raising nitrates in the tank, so it's a false argument. The fuel product here contains amino acids and iodine. I use that for the corals. And this is a really interesting product here. This is Reef Vital DNA, and it kind of acts like coral Viagra, and the really interesting characteristic about this is it prevents ick from sticking to the fish's skin. So this is a really good product here. So this is Reef Thews. If you have any questions or need fish or coral identification, shoot me a message or a video response, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching.